This is a compilation of the first 8, I think, 3-tip operator guides that I made. So, like, I think I'll make a compilation for, like, every 8 that I make. So I hope you enjoy. If you like this, please consider subscribing.
Here are 3 R6 tips for smoke. So number 1, when you're using smoke's grenade, let's say I'm on attack and I'm coming down laundry stairs. And there's a smoke right here, and I want to smoke this off so I can go watch another angle for a sec. But if I throw it like this, or lands here, I could shoot it. So in mainly stairways, you can throw a smoke here, like really anywhere along this railing, and it still covers this entire area without the risk of having it shot. And then next, I can't really show this because I don't have a second person, but with Smoke's grenade, if somebody's playing Glass, they can see through it with their ability, making him kind of countered by one of the worst operators in the game. I think is actually kind of funny. And then the last one is a bit technical, and I also need a second person for this, which I don't have. But when you use his ability, if you use it more than once on the same spot, it won't stack. But if you use it with something like a Goyo or Tachanka's ability, it will stack. Because Smoke's attack deals burn damage. So it doesn't stack with itself, but it will stack with other burn abilities, such as a Goyo or a Tachanka. So those are 3 tips for Smoke. Comment which operator I should do next. Here are 3 R6 tips, 0 edition. So number 1 is with this little crosshair in the middle when I'm using his Argus launcher. So if you see the little triangle at the bottom in the line, it means when you shoot the cam, it can't go through the wall. If it has a triangle on both sides, that means it can go through the wall. And if it just has these 2 straight lines, that means it won't hit anything. It's just gonna go into oblivion. And then this next one, I'm kind of surprised I have to say, but apparently more people than I thought don't know this. Zero's cameras have a taser that can destroy gadgets. They're basically like Twitches, but with cameras, like on cameras. So that's definitely useful. It can be used to destroy like cameras, things like Mozzie's. Basically using like Twitch, but it's also like a camera. And then the last tip for Zero is that his Arguses can go in the ceiling. I think you gotta angle it a bit better. There we go. They can go through the ceilings and floors. And they can also... You gotta find it. They can also go through hatches. So, you can use them a little bit more than just like... I don't have any more left, but... Wait, can I pick them up? No, I can't. Any more than just like... throwing them in there and... What? So you can put them on hatches too. Here are 3 R6 tips, Glass edition. So, number 1 is when the defenders are using smoke, you can see through his ability with your Glass. So, most of the time, Smoke will use his ability, pretend this is Smoke, he'll use his ability to kind of cut off areas so you can't walk through, but also so you can't see that well. But Glass can counter that. He can see through. I also mentioned this in my video about tips with Smoke. So then, the second tip is he he goes well with breach ops, specifically things like Ace and Maverick, people who don't make big breaches. He especially goes well with Maverick, since Maverick can make tiny little holes. And Maverick also has smoke grenades. And then the last tip for glass. I swear to God, if I see people doing this, I'm going to come to your house and I'm actually going to kill you. Not actually. Don't take that seriously. That was a joke. I don't want to get, like, banned. But use his secondary. Oh my God, use Glass as secondary. I don't know how many times I've been in a match, somebody for some reason picks Glass over any other operator. I don't even know why I'm making this video. No one plays Glass, I don't think. But, like, the opponent will be right there, and this guy pulls out a sniper, and then gets mad when he dies. Like, the bearing 9 is there for a reason. This thing's an option for a reason. Please use it! Here are 3 R6 tips, a Rooney edition. So, number 1 is when you're using your Surya gates, you can put them on walls. So let's say this is a really big, like, it's not the, speaking of big, anyways, this is a really big spot for defenders to kind of push through and blow it up and whatever, even though it's not, but pretend it is. I can put this here on top of things like a bandit or something, so if they, or like a Cade, so if they destroy it, still have our Rooney gate here. What if I can pick these up? Oh, I can't. And then, number 2 is you can use them on hatches. This is way, way better to do it below instead of on top. Like, obviously, never use her Surya gates on the top of a hatch. That would be stupid. But you can put them on the bottom from below. So, like, actually, what if I... Not just that. Alright. So, you can put them on bottoms of hatches, so when people drop down, they get hit by the Surya gate or have to waste a drone. And then the last one is, I can't do this because I don't have second person, but when a Rooney's Surya gate is hit or like destroyed by a drone or walkthrough, it makes a noise. Like, it makes a distinct sound. So you could be like here, like, I don't know what the sound sounds like, but like pretend like, and then you can swing around and get them. This is an honorable mention. Please, for the love of all that is good and holy, use an ACOG on the DMR. I cannot say how many times I've seen people not using an ACOG on this DMR. For the love of God, please do. Use an ACOG in any gun that has it, for that matter. I'm gonna make a whole nother video ranting about that. Here are 3 R6 tips, Capito edition. So number 1, with his fire, you, like, don't just, like, throw it willy-nilly. Don't just, like, put it in this random spot on the stairs. Actually, the stairs actually probably would be a bad idea. But use your fire to hold off choke points, like Z-Hall. So, use it to hold that off, kind of like you're using a smoke. Not a smoke grenade, like smoke the operator. Like, use it as fire to kind of hold off angles for a couple of seconds. And then, the next one is when you're diffusing, use his smoke like you would a smoke grenade. Let's say I'm diffusing right here.
You have dropped the diffuser.
Just put a smoke on it like you would if you're diffusing and you have like smoke grenades. And then the last tip kind of outshines this one, but let's say I'm diffusing. This is the best example I could think of, specifically right here. So most people, when they plant here, they will plant.
You must recover the diffuser
and jump out, so then they can listen for when they're disabling. So what you want to do
has been secured.
is put a smoke and then put a fire, and then you can jump out. So it holds them off for that extra bit longer, and they can't tell that you're here. Kind of giving you like that double whammy. And then you can just stay here and keep watching. Here are 3 R6 tips, Mozzie edition. So number 1, with your pests, instead of putting them in the middle of the doorway right here, since if I'm on my drone, I can see it, try and place it on the inside of door frames. Because you can see it still covers the entire thing. And then number 2 is, this is actually pretty obvious, but I don't see as many people doing it. So let's say you spot a drone and you just want to get it. You have some extra pests. You can just shoot the drone and get the pest on. And if you miss, just do that. You'll probably catch a drone, since like White Stairs is a pretty common spot to drone out, like from that window or from Z Hall. So you can just chase drones around. And then the last tip from Ozzy that I have, this really annoys me when people does it. When people do it, don't just sit on your drones the entire round. Unless you're literally, I don't have any drones captured, but if I did, just don't sit on drones the entire round unless it's part of your team's plan. So unless you agree with your team to do it, don't just sit in the back corner. Oh, woo! The entire round. Because you don't do anything, and then suddenly it's like a 1v3 and you're cooked because you've been sitting on drones the entire time. And then you're like, guys, I swear he was 1 HP! When he definitely was not. Tips for Ace in Rainbow Six Siege. That was embarrassing. Number 1, let's say this wall is reinforced and I want to soften it. Placing one Selma here and another one at the top can fully soften the wall, allowing for somebody like Sledge or Ash to make a much bigger hole in it.
You have located a bomb.
Ooh. Then the next one is to open rotations with it. So let's say, since they're going this site, let's say I can put a Selma here, and that can allow me to kind of see in first, and then I can go in, and I basically made my own rotation. So you can open up the map for your team in points that the enemy team didn't really intend for. And then the last one is if there's a hatch, if it's reinforced, the Selma will put a hole in it. Of course, since it's not reinforced, it just breaks it. So you can use it for that, but it's better to just use like Habana or something for that, or just shoot the hatch. But if a hatch is reinforced, Ace can throw a Selma on it, and it puts holes in it so you can peek it kind of like you're playing vertically. So you can play vertically with him, and you can make rotations. Here are 3 R6 tips, my edition. So number 1, when you're placing your magnets, let's say I have a teammate camping in trophy room, watching over here, watching this door. I can have that here, but you place your Wamais behind cover, because if I'm on attack,
Your location has been compromised.
I can't see it, so then I'll throw a grenade and I'll catch it. And then the next tip is stack them on important choke points. So for example, if I have some Wamais left over, this guy in trophy room is really getting pressured, they're throwing a bunch of stuff at him. And I am over here in armory. I can come over here, make a hole with Kratos, if I can angle it right. Yeah, if you can angle it right, stack them on choke points to help your teammate. Yeah, I can't get to aim right. And then last tip for Wamai is put his Wamais, put his magnets in between ceiling boards, like in storage, put it up here. Or if we go in here, the supply room, put them up here, or between the insulation here. Because you are typically, like, when you walk in here, you're going to be aiming down sight, you're going to be peeking this, you're not going to be paying attention to this thing on the ceiling. So, it can get a free kill for one of your teammates.